It says you're live. Really? No kidding. It's about right at 1:30 Central Time here on this good, great day God made. Let's see. Today's Thursday. Yo, 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 yo. Anyway, let me roll up this here window. That way you don't hear that outside noise. Anyway, I have made hello. I've made arrangements to go do some audits with another auditor. Hello, and we don't want to let it out of the bag where I'm going, so the popos and city and county and state officials are not sitting there waiting on us. It's Wednesday. Is it really Wednesday? That's right. Holy God, I got ahead of myself again. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Anyway, tomorrow afternoon late or early evening, I'm going to be headed north. Not west, but north. Hey, anyway, I'm leaving the state of Alabama headed north. But I don't want to even say what state I'm going to or who I'm going to do auditing with. But we have a few places in mind to start out with, and we'll see how that goes. We're going to do some cop watching, and we're going to do some audits at PD, sheriff's offices, city marshal, whatever they got there in that particular state. Okay? So, I actually am going to try, if it's at all possible, some police officers I actually know and have known for years. I'm going to see if they're on duty at some of these PDs. If they are, I'm going to try and interview them on duty. They know me, you know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, I don't know. But, it doesn't hurt to try. I don't know a lot of them in this particular state, but I'm going to give it a shot. Some of them's been around a while. They may or may not have weekends off. I don't know yet. But if I call them up and tell them I'm coming, they'll probably hide out because, it's their job. And they'll probably, their chief or lieutenant or sergeant or whatever might frown on it. So it'll just be a sneak surprise. And the worst they can do is say, "Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to do it." Well, okay, but I'm gonna try. Hey, chief, your buddy. I can't read what that says there. I'm not sure what that says. Something. I guess it's about James Freeman. I couldn't make it out. I'm sorry. That's got itty bitty teeny tiny print, and I don't have my glasses with me, so I can't see. But anyway, what I'm going to do is tomorrow, which is Thursday, late in the afternoon, early evening, I'm going to take off. And I'll be driving a good long while, and I'll try and do uh, someplace when I stop and get gas, I'll try and do an update and right on, love you back. Uh, I'll at least let you know where I'm at when I do an update. But the update won't be where I'm finally going. I want it to be a surprise to the popos, judges, other officials I come in contact to because I'm starting to get a little more well known. And of course, where I'm going, I don't think they know that much about me. Right on. Power of the people. People to the power. Whee! That's us. Okay. Anyway, uh, I made arrangements for the safety and security of my family in my absence, unless they choose to go, and I think they're going to stay around their safe place. That's fine. Anyway, I've got everything worked out. So I'm going to go to where I'm going to go. Maybe there a day or two. I'm not sure. Depends on how things go. Anyway, here's your opportunity to help me to offset some of my expenses. Now I know, just like when I went out last time and did some auditing, it was all out of my pocket. Minus like $20. I don't want to. I'm glad I got that 20. I thank the people for it, but cost a little more than $20 to go like I did last time. So, if you can, I've got to decline a call here. If you can, and if you feel good about it, if you can help me out with some gas, a motel room, I know I'm going to stay at least one night, could be two. Uh, I'd appreciate it. I'd be very grateful to it if you could help me. Let's see. Hey, citizen on patrol. Uh, hey, give me some thumbs up, y'all. Do-do-do-do-do. Give me some thumbs up. Hey, I love everybody, but I dislike some people's behavior and their attitudes because they're pompous, arrogant, cocky, whatever. I'm just a guy with a camera, and I just know a few things. You are the only cop I would ever help. Hey, I'm going to take that as a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I've been told that a lot of times, actually. You know, my dad and my brother, they don't hate cops, but they're just not their favorite people in the world by a long stretch. And there's a lot of cops in our family. Some of them are second, third cousins, fourth cousins, so forth and so on. And we get along with them as far as family things, but, they don't really even like them a lot. You know, I get along with them better, but I still don't get along with them real well because of some of their attitudes. And they don't get along so well with me because of my attitude. My attitude, hey, Reverend Kelly, super duper dude, thanks for joining us here. Uh, I wish I could. They do. Yeah, I guess they're doing what they got to do to survive. But anyway, my attitude is this: I've had an offer, not once but twice, due due to this channel, to come to two different cities to be their chief of police, and basically, it was just sign on the dotted line. But the problem is, I just don't want to do that for a few reasons. One, I take up a lot of time with my, hey, good to see you too. I don't, in other words, I spend a lot of time with my family and try and do family things. Sometimes we play dominoes, uh, we play cards like Uno. We love Uno. We play Monopoly sometimes. My son, y'all know, with special needs. He's autistic and got some other things going on. I just want to put everything out there. But he's a grown man and he's a good guy. And we love him. We help him. We do everything we can for him. He likes to fish. We take him fishing. Um, his doctors or dentists, they're in a specialty area because you try and take some people, especially older people or children or people that's got special needs, to a dentist, there can be a major meltdown. So his dentist, he's a very old gentleman, very kind, and he deals with probably 90% or more of his clientele is special needs people, adults, whatever. So, it is what it is. So, I spend a lot of my money taking care of him. But guess what? That's my job. I'm his daddy. That's my job. God gave me that job. I love it. I love it. He keeps me on my toes. He makes me think. Uh, God bless him. He can preach a sermon and he can sing a song and he can read out of the Bible and understand, but just regular everyday like literature and stuff, he'll ask me, Dad, what does that word mean? And I have to sit down and explain it to him. And I say, well, let's get the dictionary. I told you the way I understand. Let's get down a dictionary and see what the dictionary says. Okay, great. So he'll do that. And he learns. And he's a speed reader, but it's comprehension. So his comprehension is much better than it used to be, and it's getting better all the time. And I still believe and pray that he will come all the way to where he needs to be. But yet, let him still be a child to some extent because that's his favorite place to be. Fantasies, make believe, all that sort of stuff. Still watching cartoons and things. And I sit down and watch cartoons with him, and he'll say, why was they doing that? And sometimes I have to explain some of the humor. But that's okay because when he gets it, he just laughs like crazy. Makes me dang near cry. Sometimes I do cry. Uh, I'm just a man trying to be a good man, always trying to be better husband, but a better father. And I just want our public servants to treat us for who we are. We are the people. We vote in representatives that represent our areas. They in turn hire other servants, and us and the servants work together for our good. In other words, if you got a say you got a grocery store, okay, you own it, so you got to hire people and put them to work. Uh, what do you know about Black's Law Dictionary? I got a Bouvier's Law Dictionary 1856. I've got Black's. I've got American Jurisprudence Second. I've got Constitutional Studies. I got a book on motions. I got a lot of law books. I paid for all of them. There's also a book called The Excellence of the Common Law, and it talks about Roman civil law, and it talks about the American style of Roman civil law, and it explains so many things. And you can learn about administrative law and how we're turning into an administrative state, which facilitates the police state. In fact, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It might come to me, but anyway, uh, I have met certain people that have wrote books about the Constitution of their state, the national Constitution, etc., etc. Uh, when is your next audit and with who? I'm headed north, leaving Alabama. There's a lot of states north. I'm not going to let it out of the bag because it'll be a surprise. Uh, if there was a way to tell you all where I was going and exactly what I was doing, and don't tell no government officials, our servants, what we were going to do, we're going to do a surprise inspection, a constitutional examination. So, take me, take me, take me. Okay, well, anyway, uh, this is, I am leaving tomorrow afternoon late or early evening. Uh, I'm going to uh, be there probably late in the night, early the next day, depending on, you know, traffic, and I might stop and take a nap. Who knows? Anyway, I'll be there sometime. So, Friday, I'm going to survey the area we'll be going. And I'm going to get a lay for the land. And I'm going to see how the police in that area work. How often are they stopping cars? I'm going to get my, the GIS survey, look at it and make sure where it is for places when I go. So we're going to do our homework ahead of time. And I'm going to do some history on the, thank you, Thank you so much. God bless you. Uh, I'm thinking that if we do our homework and we do the history of the state, the county, and the city, see who the city commissioners are, county commissioners, whatever they're called in that state, then we'll already have a bag of names that we might drop, etc. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. Some people think, oh, well, so and so, and I've heard somebody say this. I don't deal with him no more. But anyway, I heard somebody say, man, they just gave $1. They just gave a freaking dollar. And I said, well, that's $1 more than you had. Why do you begrudge the little things? You're always trying to hit people up for $100 or $300 or $500. That's wrong, man. It's a community. Say if there's 500 people in the community, okay, and everybody gave $1, that's 500, and you can do what you need to do. That's a few days worth of motel rooms, food, gas, that's everything. But you're trying to suck up. I didn't say that. You said it. You're using the money for gambling. You're using the money for other things. Hey, hi. Uh, you're using the money wrongly. That's wrong. You know, uh, I I have always told people, and this is true. If if I actually get more than I need, I either put it back for another audit, or sometimes there's some auditor in trouble, and I have basically gave that to them to help them out when they're in trouble. Yes, I remember you. I know who you are. Thank you very much for tuning in. So when I leave and go on my trip, I have the money. This is my family money, and I mean, I take care of my family. But the more I can get in donations, some help, the less we got to cut down on suspending. But my wife believes in what I do. My son believes in what I do, and we could use the money to go out and eat, or uh, you know, just different things for our family. My family's willing to sacrifice some for me to go because this is what we believe in. But you know, I'm willing to share some of the burden, but I'm asking y'all, can y'all help uh, share some of the burden, help me out? You know, so you got $1, you got five, you got 10, you got 20, whatever you got. I'm not trying to ching in on one man or woman and say, hey, can you send me a couple hundred? No, 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 no. Uh, you know, yeah, if you own a business and you're some wealthy lady or man and you say, hey, chief, just give me a dollar figure and I'll deposit it in your PayPal, okay, if you're really well off and it's not going to hurt you or your family or nothing, okay, I'll do that, and I'll tell everybody, hey, I got enough. I, you know, I, I don't need no more, and I would do that. That's cool. You know, uh, I need enough to go and to come back, and probably probably 500 would probably do it. You know, I don't know. It could, I told my wife, and she agrees, and my son, I said, I might be there 2 days, I might be there 5 days. I said, if the money's there for motels and gas and miscellaneous cost, I'm going to stay 5 days. If it's not there, I'm going to do 1.5, 2 days or something. But I really, really, really want to stay for 5 days and hit several places. Uh, you know, and I know that this is not the TI community for targeted individuals. Although there are some that the police target and they harass you. So there are always some TIs in the auditing community that the police have targeted. But it goes a lot further and a lot deeper, and I'm helping a lot of those people as well. And I help people in ministry. I want our community, I want our cities, our states in America to be safe. I want it to get to some point to where our servants are in a healthy fear of the people, the master. It's a master servant relationship. We pay them for what they do. Yeah, that was a great courthouse video. Yeah. And I've been contacted by a third party, not them direct, but a third party that said they're getting some new policies and some new training. I don't know that for a fact. Uh, I'm I'm trying to help victims, but most of America is a victim. They have been, they are now, or they will be a victim, and it's because bad cops keep getting away with bad things. Bad judges, bad clerks, bad mayors, uh, bad governors, whatever it is. They're allowing this to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So the only way to do it is, yeah, blue line murder. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, then two of them have been charged with the murder of the Tuttles by Houston PD. But a lot of that come about by News Now Houston and Justin Pulliam. They both do their own thing, but then they both, have some connection areas, and the way they operate, I understand it. But if I tell it, it kind of kills the strategy, you know. And the government's kind of making people be at a war footing with the government because the way the government's treating people. They overregulate you, overdo this, overdo that, they overtax people, and they're redistributing your money everywhere. So it's crazy. So I'm only one man. Now, people said, well, you're big enough to be two people. Okay, you know, I can live with that. You know, I got a thick skin. I can take a reasonable amount of even harsh criticism. But if you want me to change or do something different, it would help if it would be constructive criticism. It'd be, like, maybe you could do this, Chief, maybe you could do that. And I look at it and I think about it. I pray about it. I'll talk to my wife and son about it. And we'll come to a conclusion if that's acceptable and reasonable for our family, just like you would with your family. I'm just a guy, but I am a guy, and I always say I'm on a mission from God. Hey, hi. And my back, Jesus Christ, I just live in pain every day. Uh, you know who messed it up, and I don't know that it'll ever be right. But at any rate, I'm just having to push through. I got to do something bigger than me. And they said, wow, that must really be big. Yeah, I'm trying to make the public servants understand that they are uh, public servants. We are the public, except the word public in some legal things say something different than the people. Go to a dictionary or a legal dictionary and look up human being, see what it tells you. Look up the word man or woman, see what it tells you. Okay? Uh, the 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 point is, I guess this is my fireside chat, if you will. Roosevelt used to have them with people, and you're no matter who you are, whether you're some local policeman and a good one, and the people really like you, or you're the president, or you're in between. Okay, you're gonna have people that's gonna love you for who you are, And the same people that love you for who you are, there's going to be the opposite people who hate you for what you are. You're the exact same person 24 hours a day, and some people are going to love you for it, and some are going to hate you for it because, unfortunately, over the last 10 years, our country's been divided pretty much down the middle. It's almost like 40% on the left side and 40% on the right side, and the 20% that's in the middle, which is where I kind of consider myself, independent thinkers, forward thinkers, observers, uh, problem solvers, resolvers. Then it's us 20% that are having the biggest impact on elections and who sits in office, whether it's local, state, national. And we have to find the best men and women we can that will in turn tell their subordinates, their subservients, if you will, you cannot treat the people the way you're doing it. First, you're going to be counseled in letters. Second, you're going to get some write ups. And third, you ain't got a job unless you do something really bad. Just like them cops that bum rushed Otto the other day. And in the middle of the dark, camping with your family, and you hear some voices and some flashlights, you ain't got no freaking way to know if it's really cops. Okay? So I'm not Otto, but I think, hey, if I'm out here camping with my wife and son, and all of a sudden we see some flashlights out there and somebody's hollering, hey, we're the police. Hey, prove it. Shine the flashlights on yourself and at least let me see you in a uniform and I can decide if you're really a cop or not. I might need to start up my car and haul buggy some other way, or you might be fake cops and run right over you and keep going before you jack me and my family. I don't know. Okay, they handled that all wrong. All wrong. Yeah, it's a setup. Let me tell you this. I can't prove it, but I already connected the dots. You got uh, Hot Cove. You got that chief of police over in Hot Cove. That's in Hunt County. A portion of Royce City is in Hunt County. Okay? So you do a little bit of math and see the chief of police in Royce City, the chief of police in Hot Cove, and the people right around there. Boom. You see the hookup. Okay? So I know what's going on. I get word from behind the scenes. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I I know a lot of things, but until I can absolutely prove it through documents, phone calls, emails, other people that video at a distance that don't upload the videos, but maybe they share them with people. If I get me something that's like this here, and it's where I can read it and I can share it with the world, and I can prove what I believe is true, then yeah, I'll give it to you. Right now, I have to tell you I'm connecting dots, and some things are self evident. Okay? It's self evident he got the okey doke. That's what the boys down at the jailhouse and the state prison, they call it the okey doke. Oh man, y'all ain't gonna do the okey doke on me, are you? Not me. I can't tell you about everybody else. However, if an officer does do something wrong, then you tell me, and I'll go see it's taken care of. We had an inmate one time, for example. He had a lot of bad language and a lot of nasty things he said. But I just look at it. This is a man in a cage, and he's acting out because he's having a hard time coping. So I try and get medical to come talk to him and say he needs some psychiatric assistance in coping with it. Okay? I'm not saying give him a bunch of sedatives and make him be quiet, which they oftentimes do. I said, he's a guy that's got some problems. Okay? Uh, so, the long and short of it is I got some nurses that were compassionate to talk to him that do psychiatric work that's helping with him, you know. Uh, so it is what it is. But they helped him out. And one officer would go by with a plate and say, "Oh, you don't want to eat? Well, I keep going." I got the lieutenant on the horn and said, "Hey, he didn't feed him, and I wasn't here yesterday, but the same inmate told him he didn't get fed yesterday." And I got an approval from the captain to bring another plate out of the chow hall and give it to him to make sure he ate. Okay, and I said, "I'm going to get another plate and feed him in a minute because I see what he did." And this guy come out of the Marine Corps, and he's just like, "I'm going to punish him." It ain't your freaking job to punish him. Him being in a cage is supposed to be his punishment for his crime, stupid. So it really pissed me off. But anyway, other deputies and some cops said, "You're a freaking tattletale." No, I'm an honest man, and I promise to uphold the law and the Constitution. They may have done a crime, but they're not a freaking animal. If you can't take care of people like that, you need to go get a freaking job. So some of the deputies and good people loved me and stood up for me, but the bad ones come against me. It's like that in law enforcement, corrections. You get a lot of that in any job, but when you get a bunch of people uh, that's got badges and guns and authority, some of them it goes to their head, or they become hard and calloused. I wasn't like that. I just said, I'm going to be who I am the day I walk in and the day I walk out. I'm going to help people. It's just my way. It's the nature of God in me. So, uh, literally. I think if Jesus manifested himself in front of a lot of these people that do hating and name calling and triggering folks and all that stuff, I think if Jesus materialized himself in front of them, or if they got some other God, then say whoever their God is, materialized themselves and said, "Hey, you're doing wrong," they would probably tell him F you or jump off a bridge, and they'd be talking to the Almighty. But they would still do it. They're that calloused and that hard hatred. Maybe they were abused when they were children. Maybe they got some kind of psychological disorder. I don't know. But they are bent on hate. I mean, hate drives them. They look for drama day and night. Uh, it is what it is. So, if you like me, you like the content I provide, and you can help me with some donations. I greatly appreciate it. If you can't, it's okay. You know, I got the money to do it, but it comes out of my family budget to do it. And I already know all this stuff, and I can help myself. I don't, I don't encounter these kind of problems that other people do because I'm usually low key. I don't go out bar hopping. I don't ride up and down the streets. I don't do a lot of things that other people do that they're complete, inalienable, God given right that's backed up by the Constitution of the United States of America. It's the highest law of the land. But you got to do some calculations. What is safe and reasonable for you or your family? So I try and stay out of the limelight and keep low key. And I've got good relationships. And that's what I'm telling you, build relationships with people in your community. So if we did have some big bad police that decided he was going to throw me in jail, he's basically out of gas because I don't do things to get put in jail. So the good people are going to rally to my benefit because of my relations with them from the bottom to the top. So a lot of powerful people's going to come out of the woodwork and say, wait a minute, he's not that kind of guy and we don't believe it. And if they got dash cams or video footage, it's going to say, hey, Chief's a good guy. and the video even proves what we're saying, then I'm going to come out of jail, and that lawman or judge is probably going to have to go find them a new job. Well, if you don't like it, you can turn it off there, uh, Mr. Hater guy or lady. Nobody's got a gun to your head. You're just coming over here and creating some chaos. I pray your life gets better where you won't feel the need to do all the drama, you know, all the hate. People say, oh, da 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 da. I ain't a hater, and I ain't gonna hate, and I ain't gonna call names. I'm just gonna point out people's behavior and point out what's self evident. I mean, good God. Yeah, uh, thank you for annoying the haters. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. You know, the one thing that drive the haters berserk is when I do get donations. Now, Super Chat takes, anywhere from 5 days to probably 30 days, depending on the time of the month before it comes. And I think this platform gets 40 or 50% of it. So, you know, I got to wait a while to get it. But I thank you for it. I ain't denouncing it by no means. It's your money. You do what you see fit with it. You know, I'm just asking people that can to share a little bit so I can do more content. You know. Now remember last time when I went over and I did audits over at the Texas prison system, uh, I could have stayed longer if I'd had more than $20 donated. And I ain't calling nobody out. I mean, there ain't nobody to call out. It's voluntary. It's of your own free will. That's why it's called a donation. You donate, you give. Uh, no, no. You know who jacked me up? I was able to walk in fine and dandy and crawl out just about it. So, everybody that injures people have their own narrative to protect their own assets. Okay? That's just the way it is. But in reality, people know what was done to me. But, you know, it is what it is. So if you can help me, I appreciate it. And I'm going to bring you the maximum amount of content. Uh, so if I don't get any donations or a little bit, then I'll make it go as far as I can. If we rely on me and my funds, we're probably going to get a day to 2 days of content. If y'all are able to donate and do, we may get a week worth of content. So, I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to go. And the more there is, the more I can do. Just simple arithmetic. But y'all seen how I deal with prison officials. You see how I deal with sheriff's deputies, police, and different things. So I don't go to jail because I got a get out of jail free card. They want to put me in jail. But I know how to talk to them. I know how to explain things to them. I know how to call upon the law and their training and all these other things to expedite them going away or at least leaving me alone. Or if I leave the area, I do it under duress and under threat of what I consider attempted aggravated battery, or two people or more working in concert to deprive me of my civil rights, which is a federal case. You know, so I don't want a payday, and I'm not. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm not looking for a payday. I don't need a payday. You know, I support my family. I've got enough to support my family. I'm like the average people. About a day or two before I get more money, there's some bills there. So it kind of washes out every few weeks, every couple of months. You you do a little here and there. People with family budgets understand this, and they understand the cost of living. So it just takes money. Uh, well, the haters are gonna hate. So that's what they do. I pray for them. It's hard. Uh, so I need a ranch. I'll have to go back and find your name to do that. I have to look at this chat later and do it. But, you know, I'm trying to speak the truth and am speaking the truth as I know it to be. And I'm working on things that are self evident. And I don't go up. Now, you got a right to, no doubt, but I don't run around with a sign that says F the police. Otto does, okay, and that's his right. And if I was a cop on the street and didn't know him from Adam's house cat, I'd probably wave at him. I might even stop and ask him, you know, are you doing it just to exercise your right, or did some police screw with you and do you wrong to bring you to this point? Obviously, you're triggered in some fashion. I mean, it's not everybody runs around with those signs. And if he said F off, I'd say, okay, have a good day, and I'd drive on down the road. I wouldn't take it personal. It's his right. You know, that flying circus nut, he always says nasty things. If when go on an auditor's channel, go all the way through the live chat and everything, or even the comments. And when you go through there, pick out the names of the haters. And you may have 2, 10, 20, and then go over to the next auditor's channel and do the same thing. You'll see at least what I call the dirty dozen. There's probably a few dozen, but at least the dirty dozen that they can't sleep for trying to go on all the channels to comment nasty things and be evil minded. You know, they just can't live without trolling and spewing hate. It's just, this is what they do. Uh, one lady, I think she's in her 70s, she's permanently disabled and she's in a wheelchair. And she actually used to say some pretty nasty things on here. And anyway, she was watching some of my videos and she had a change of mind. She emailed me and she said, I'm sorry, I did a little more research and you're not what people said. I was influenced by other people. I said, but I see your name on lots and lots of channels. And she said, well, I'm in so much pain all the time. I guess it's just turned me negative into hate. And so I wonder how many of these haters are on disability that are just hating people, or they got some corporate job and they're not earning their paycheck. They're over here on YouTube commenting and watching videos instead of doing what they're supposed to collect a check. And then there's some people that's just miserable. I mean, they just hate themselves. I mean, when they look at themselves in the mirror, they go, they just hate themselves. They can't love nobody for hating their own self. You know, uh, you know, people that hate me because they ain't me. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, if you can help out, my PayPal is PayPal.me paypal.me/Damon Jones. Uh, Maybe somebody will put it up here. I'll try and put it on the description thing or whatever it is, down below. But if you got a dollar, I've actually had some people send $5 in the past, and they'll send me an email and say, "I really wished I could send more, but that's all I got." And I email them back and say, "Literally, that's all you got, or you mean that's all you got to send?" I said, "If that's all you got, let me refund it. I don't want your last dollar. I mean, come on." They said, "No, I mean, I got everything I needed. It's some spare money that I could have done something with, and I would have done this or something else." Okay, okay. Well, I'm going to accept your love offering, your gift, and I'm going to do the best I can with it. So, whatever you can do, I appreciate it. I thank you in advance for it. I believe there are going to be people that's going to give a dollar, $5, $20, whatever they have, that they can let loose of, that's not going to affect their family budget or affect them. I mean, they're going to go out and buy some CDs this weekend. When they say, "Hey, I can I'm going to get like 6 new CDs." Well, I'm going to get 5 instead of 6, and I'm going to send Chief what this CD would cost me, $12. Okay, thank you. I was going to rent like 10 movies this weekend and do a binge party and watch videos, eat popcorn, or whatever that's going to do. I think I can throw Chief 5 or 10. Okay? Provide the link. Hey, Reverend Kelly, can you provide the link, or somebody else provide the link on here? I would very greatly appreciate it. The paypal.me/Damon, DAYMOND Jones, JONES, one word. Uh, that would be good. And of course, when this finishes, I'm gonna go around to my little, what you call it, where I can put that in there. So it'll be available that way also. Hey, no, 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 no. If you ain't got money to put food on your table, do not send me one penny. You know, uh, you take care of you and your family. I'm talking about some surplus money that you was going to go to the circus in town. You was going to go to it, and something happened and you can't, and there's some surplus. Uh, you know, uh, maybe you was going to do something a little extravagant, and maybe you cut it down just a pinch. There's the link right there. Yeah, it says PayPal me. Yeah, that's the link. Thank you, Reverend Kelly. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, kind of think of it like this: you're helping me to help you. Because when bad public officials are exposed, usually they get a lot of phone calls, text messages, emails. People take to their Twitter accounts, Facebook, and boom, yeah, they're inundated with grievances from the public from all over the country. And nowadays they're getting them from England. I don't know how England and Australia, but England and Australia have a lot of freedom minded people, uh, you know, and they're starting to call from overseas. They call in from Canada a lot too. Uh, they call from everywhere. I mean, I don't think there's a part of the planet people don't call from. But the point is, that's making city, county, state officials take notice, because before this technology age, say if you had a bad cop, it could take a year, 2 years, 3 years to get what they would consider enough sufficient, verifiable, merited complaints to remove the officer from the job, fire them, even criminally charge them. It could take a long time. In today's times, like the police, in today's times, there was murder going on in Genesis. Okay, murder's still going on. They had every kind of bad thing you can imagine happen. You just know more about it now. There's more people, so percentage it goes up. It's really all about the same, you know. So, so, but the point is that in these days there is one really new thing. News travels fast. The facts remain the same, but they travel fast. Uh, there is a process for sorting out bad officers, and some agencies are great at it. Some suck. I don't know another word to say, for that. They're just bad. Uh, it depends on who heads the agency. You know, if it's a good man or woman and they instruct their staff to work on this diligently, they have a morning meeting on Monday mornings or wherever, and they talk about all this. But let me tell you this here. Say you're a chief of police, you're a sheriff, you're a constable, you're a marshal, you're head of agency, you're a director of public safety, and your staff has to report things to you. So you come in on a Monday morning or Thursday afternoons, whenever you have your meetings, your roundtable meetings about what you're doing good, bad, indifferent, what you need to change, keep the same. And they say, well, we've got 400 phone calls from people all over the world and 50 people locally that's really ticked off about how this officer treated somebody and how they did this traffic stop or no knock warrant or whatever it is, and they did it all bad. All bad. So uh, then that forces the chief of police to launch an internal affairs investigation. And if they're a real small agency, it is best practices, it should be, period. Then another agency that's disinterested, they send over their um, investigators, and if it gets enough heat, it gets local media, and then the attorney general sends somebody down from the inspector general's office or something, even if they're doing their own internal, and then they start looking into it. And if there's some deprivation of rights, then the FBI gets involved, and then the officer gets gone, and he has really bad marks on his record, minimum, and then all of a sudden, wow, uh, he stands a really good chance of getting criminally prosecuted and civil liability by the citizens he done wrong. And then him and the city or the county or the state or federal government, they're latched at the hip. So, things move along. So when people call and send letters and documents and all kind of things, they have a habit of dropping bad officers like a hot potato. But some people have thicker skins and it's got to get really hot. If News Now Houston and Justin Pulliam, if they hadn't have done all that they done on the Houston police murdering them people, it would have got pushed up under the rug. Look at what the chief of police said and then how it changed and changed and changed and changed. But Pulliam is a master at getting government records, and David is a master at exposing. So they're like the dynamic duel or whatever you want to call them. They're joining forces. And I got things I do behind the scenes, and there's other auditors that do things behind the scenes, and there's people behind the scenes behind them. So I'm really glad to see that they're being charged with murder. I think they also got the FBI involved because it's deprivation of rights. Two or more of them conspiring to deprive people. Yep, there's my PayPal link. Thank you so much, Reverend Kelly. So if you got $1 to spare, brother, send it on in. I can't save you, but Jesus can. But I'm not even preaching on that right now. Uh, you got $2, better. 10 or 15, better. Send in what you got. That you can. Like I say, don't cause no hardship for yourself or your family. And some people would really do it because they're so moved by the Spirit to do it. Uh, I'm just saying, whatever you got spare. Can you spare a dime? Can you spare $1? $10, whatever. I want to be there for more than 1 or 2 days. I know bunches of people want me to be there for more than 1 or 2 days. It's going to be a long trip. Uh, if nobody gives, I'll just do the 1 or 2 days, just kind of like I did in Texas last time I went there, and that's all it'll be. Now it'll still be good and it'll still be content, and you can still watch and enjoy it. But for every video or two I put out, just remember I could have put out 5 or 10. And bring more exposure. And this is going to be new territory. This is going to be someplace I've never audited. Uh, haven't. I'm becoming aware of what all their rules, regulations, and laws are to work with it, so I don't wind up doing a misstep. You can't. You can't do the Texas thing in another state. You got to learn what the policies, procedures are to know how to work with it. They got the laws, but you got to know how they work. So I'm not going to go in there like a ding-a-ling and just go, well, I can do this and I can do that. Well, maybe under their law, I can't do that. I can, but I can't do it the way I'm going about it. You know, just like they used to have when you come to an intersection, you used to have to stop. Then they made a law you could do turn right on red when it was clear. Well, then other states did it and some states didn't. So if you was traveling that state, you thought you could because you're used to doing it in your state, and you can't. You can literally, but the police might stop you and jack you up. It's a chance you take. Well, we're at about an hour long, and I don't know nothing else I can tell you. You know. So I say, God bless you and your families. I really hope you'll give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll share, like, and subscribe to my channel. When I do confront people, they do look at, and I've found this out recently, they do look and see how many subs you have. They do look and see how many comments you have. They're kind of gauging how much are you reaching people, how much you're affecting things in the area. So, say if I show up somewhere and I got 4 or 5 thousand subs, even 500 dedicated people, they don't like, because they got a very dedicated people that watch them and listen to them, and they learn and they go check the law, learn the law. Uh, yes, thank you. Uh, but if you have 10,000, they get a little more concerned. 10,000 people here around the world, we set him off and he talks about it. Our phone might not stop ringing for days. I think I had 1,500 when I went to one particular police department, showed a bad sergeant. They got over 500 phone calls on the afternoon shift, like between 3 and 11. And I only had 1,500 people, and 500 they said called. I didn't even ask nobody to call. I didn't even tell nobody, didn't even hint at it. They just got that much. Simply because they saw the wrong in it. So now at getting closer to 5,000 subs, how many more people might be outraged and use their right of grievance with government, which is their constitutional right? So if you like it, you share it, you sub, you ask your friends to sub, it gives me a little bit more umph with the authorities. So it's kind of like saying, I like this guy kind of representing me unofficially going to talk to our servants because he's one of us, we the people, and he's going in talking to the servants. He's telling them things we want to tell them. He's asking things. He's engaging them the way I want to do it. I can't go because I got a sensitive job or some other reason, but he's doing what I want to do, and it costs me $20 or $50 to go do this. I'm going to give it to him and help him go do it. And he ain't just working in one particular city or just in one specific area. He's moving around. He's going a lot of different places, and he's getting more well known. And the police don't seem to be able to do nothing with him because he understands the law. He understands certain people's shenanigans. He knows what he can do and can't do and how to work it. And he's teaching us the law and how to work it by example. So he's a good guy, and I'm going to help him out. And if you feel that way, thank you very much. If you feel different, well, then you feel how you feel. So, no harm, no foul. I love y'all. God bless you. I'm going to be signing off. I'll give y'all about 30 seconds in case y'all want to send a message to each other. I know that this is a form of communication in the community, and this is your chance to share, like, and subscribe, or write a comment to me or to other people, so y'all can comment back and forth to each other. I just hate to end it abruptly uh, where you say, "Oh, he just cut it off so fast." So I'm just gonna sit here and let y'all stay safe, everyone, and film the police. Yes, always film the police. If they're doing nothing wrong, they should have zero problem with you filming it. The police have a habit of saying, "What are you trying to hide?" Well, I'm not trying to hide nothing. And I say, "What are you hiding?" If you don't want me to videotape the conversation, or you say, "Well, you turn that off and we'll talk," then you're wanting some deniability. You're wanting to say, "I didn't tell him that." But if you're on video, you can't get away from that. So the police want to video you, but don't want you to video them. Now, good cops usually don't care. There are some, thank you, there are some good cops that they're afraid, even when they're telling the truth and they're being helpful, they're afraid that you'll twist it or do something with it. So I understand there's some good cops that's scared or nervous. Um, Most of them are comfortable in their own skin. The good cops are comfortable in their own skin, and they're willing to answer your question. And some things they kind of um, I don't know. It just is what it is. Well, I'm going to do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7. Thank you. Let's see. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. God bless you all. Have a super great Jesus day. May God bless you and your families and heal you of any injuries or any problems you may have. Yes, everybody has a right to travel, and the right of travel is from state to state. The right of free movement or locomotion is intrastate in your own state. Thank you. God bless you, and have a great day.